All right, we're here with actor Todd Williams.
Up.
He's been in many television shows that you might recognize. His first major role, I guess, was
It
Tilt.
was Tilt,
Yeah.
ESPN original series.
Mm-hmm.
You most likely have not seen it because it only went a season, but it was good stuff. In Plain Sight, The Chicago Code,
Mm-hmm.
Vampire Diaries, currently switched to back.
Right, and you kind of have an interesting start when you wanted to become an actor. You were actually fell into it in a church setting.
Yeah. My friend, he went to a church in the city called Marble Collegiate in New York City, and they used to put on these shows through the youth department or choir, and he had asked me if I wanted to go down one day because I didn't really do anything on Sundays, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll check it out. Days free, so I go down there, and they're in the midst of getting everything together for the upcoming show, and I just remember the energy and everything that was going on, and just being completely intrigued by it. Didn't know what it entailed, but just knowing that it was something very interesting. So I went up to the choir director and I was like, "Is it possible I could be a part of this?" And he said, "Sure," but unfortunately all the roles are cast. So I said, "That's fine. I just want to be a part of it." And so I ended up memorizing everything from front to back, all the songs, and we put it up, and I had such a great time doing it, just being on stage and the energy. And after that, I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Now you've gone on to shows like you mentioned Tilt, which
Yeah.
ran a season, and you were also on the Vampire Diaries
Right.
for pretty heavy
Had
recurring
a nice
role.
arc, yeah.
You
had a
did.
nice little arc.
Chicago Code,
Yeah.
which ran for a season. You were on two seasons of
In Plain Sight.
In Plain Sight.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mary McCormick.
Mary
but
McCoy, yeah.
they didn't name the show after her, but it was, you starred with her.
Yeah.
What were some of your experiences like on those shows, and what did you learn from each character moving forward? Did it give you insight into other things you would like to play, or?
I enjoy having the opportunity to play just a vast array of different people from different walks of life. And of course, you get typecasted, but there's still there are personality traits that differ in these characters. For the most part, the beauty about acting is that it's a journey. So whatever I'm playing now doesn't mean that I'm going to be playing the same thing later on. And I'm just open to discovering what's to come. You know, I love the fact of being able to work on these shows and take away valuable lessons from them, particularly from the main characters. Because, you know, as an actor, your goal is to eventually, hopefully, be able to carry a show. So I would always look at the stars and just see how they do things, whether it was just how they handle the cast and the crew, or whether it's how they memorize their lines. I would always just soak everything up and just see, you know, what worked for me and what didn't work for me, because it all helped mold me into, you know, how I am now.
Now that's a very humble thing to say, considering you are the stars of some of the. You are a star of one of those shows, or multiple shows. So
I mean, you have ensembles, but you always have like a main two. You know, the people that pretty much work every day. And it's one thing to just be like, yeah, I want to be the star of a show, because an ensemble piece, you know, in respect to other characters, you may have it a lot easier. So Chicago Code, for instance, you know, I would work regularly, but in terms of Jason Clarke, who was the star of the show, or Jennifer Beals, like they had massive amounts of stuff to memorize. And it's not for the faint of heart, you know, because you could be in the middle of one script, you're shooting that, but then you're getting the script for the next episode, and you have like chunks of dialogue to go through. So it's like, okay, they're 1 and 2 and 3 on the call sheet for a reason. So I would always just observe and ask questions, and I feel like it gives me the opportunity to not only make money, but learn at the same time. That's the stage that I feel like I'm in now. That I'm always learning and always wanting to soak it up.
Since we're at Icon, your character on the Vampire Diaries wasn't necessarily a likable character because of what he was brought on to do.
Right.
But you are a likable actor and brought a likable quality to the character because you're engaging to watch.
Oh, thanks.
Do you do that purposely, or is that something you subconsciously do?
I have no idea. Well, subconsciously, I guess I
I guess
wouldn't
you,
know.
yeah, true.
But no, I just try to gain as much understanding about the character as possible through the script and what they say.
Mhm.
Um, the approach that I like to take is using as much imagination as possible and using the words to pretty much build past circumstances from which I can, approach the present with. So, in terms of Connor, I mean, and it's interesting because with the Vampire Diaries, they'll give you information for each script that comes in
Yeah.
that you're like, man, if I knew that, I could have
Right, you could
applied
play
that
it.
to this.
Right.
So there's a lot of imagination needed because you're not really sure where the character's going. And with Connor, it was about the mark,
Mhm.
just building upon. Okay, well, what did he go through on a personal level that brought him to this place, and how he deals with it. And people just looked at him as just this angry person that just wanted to kill vampires.
Mhm.
But no, like he was a victim of the mark. It's not that he necessarily wanted to do that. It was just that's how things ended up being,
Mhm.
and he was just trying to deal with it as best as possible. Which, I mean, he says there's a part where there's this intense need to kill vampires. He didn't start off wanting to kill vampires,
Right.
but the mark caused him to do it. So I think if people look at it that way, then it's kind of sad that he got his neck broke. Because
Yeah.
if he had his path to choose, vampire hunting would have been it.
Now, this question is probably not going to be easy to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You're a very watchable actor on television. When did you realize that you were, or do you realize that you're such a presence on television that no matter who you're playing, you're easy to watch, and you're very, very skilled at every character that you play, and that people are interested in who
Thank
you're
you.
playing.
Yeah, no.
Just in your tone and your acting and everything that you do, you're very watchable, and people are invested in who you're playing.
I appreciate that. I have a hard time looking at myself
Mhm.
because I'm so critical, and you're not supposed to compare yourself to others because you just compare yourself to yourself.
Mhm.
And doing that, I'm better than I was, 5 years ago. But you still can't. When you're in an ensemble and you're looking at how good people are, you go, man, I just want to be able to be on that level. So when you look at your work, it's like, no, it needs work, or why did I do that, or why didn't I do this? And so it's just best to not watch it, or if I watch it, I don't actually see it, like enjoy it until after I've seen it like 5 or 6 times, and I'm not even paying attention to myself.
So in other words, it's kind of hard for you to take.
Oh yeah, you can't. No, there's no objectivity to it. It's just, yeah, that was all right. Yeah, you take bits and pieces, and okay, that was cool. But then for the most part, it's like I still need work.
So you rely on other people giving you the positive feedback then in a way.
In a way, I guess it.
I guess my point is your presence. You have a very strong presence on everything that you do.
Yeah, I don't.
Whether it be your
I don't
stature, your
see it
talent.
yeah, I just look at it as just trying to be on par with everybody else.
Hmm.
I don't want to be that dude where it's like, oh man, that cast was great, except for that one guy.
Yeah.
So that's always, and it shouldn't because it's irrelevant, but it's always in the back of my mind.
Right. Well, but on Vampire Diaries, your character, if you're a fan of the people that you were going after, was not a likable person, even though he was a victim. That speaks to your talent. That people were
Definitely.
feeling sorry
Yeah,
for him. So
well-
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
Well,
you're,
see, I at the end of the day, I just like people to be affected.
which I think
Emotionally
people
on
were
some
with
level.
you.
Right.
Yes.
So if somebody says, "Oh, I hate Connor," I'm like, "Thank you."
Good,
If they
yeah,
say,
'cause you
"I
did your
love
job.
Connor," I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
It's good either way. If they're just like, "I really didn't care for him," then I failed. It's like, "Oh, you're just completely indifferent about him." So,
Right.
okay, I want you to either love him, hate him, or both.
Hmm.
And as long as you do that, mission accomplished.
Right.
But on a personal level, it's like, I'm always breaking it down and critiquing it. But yeah.
What type of character would you like to play next if you had
I
to
don't really
choose your
have
own?
anything. I don't know. I really love the action aspect that Connor brought. That was extremely fun. But I don't know. I don't really have an idea of what I would like to do next. I just love telling stories.
Mhm.
You know.
Any interest in doing theater? I know one of your former
Yeah.
co-stars is in a show in New York right now.
I just went to see Matt Lauria and really, and it was very inspiring. Like what's cool is that a lot like Chicago Code cast, we still keep in touch with each other, and we hang out, and wanted to go and show him some support. So we flew out to New York last week to see him. And theater, it's interesting because when I did theater in high school, and theater is what made me want to act. And then once I had gotten my manager and started going out, I never went out for theater.
Mhm.
And I guess it's because maybe there wasn't money in it or whatever, but so much time went by that, yeah, I'd have to be reconditioned because it's a completely different approach just in terms of preparation.
Mhm.
Plus and minuses that are just completely different from television. And you can't really, if you mess up a line, it's not like you go, line.
Yeah, it's
Or cut, you know what
hold
I'm
on,
saying? So you're
audience.
just kind of
will be-
sitting there.
Yeah,
Let me remember my line. Yeah, no. I love the intimacy of it. And I love the fact that it goes straight through. You're able to completely live the experience without any breaks.
Mhm.
And linear. Not like television where it's like, you the first day you're shooting the end and the last day you're shooting the middle, and it's so disjointed that
Mhm.
there's just pluses and minuses to it. But I would love to do theater.
personally, I think that's a great. I mean, your presence would be very striking in theater,
Yeah,
and you're.
I love theater. It's just the fear is that I have not they're not quite ready to memorize like they do.
Mhm.
So baby steps.
Yeah.
I figure if I reintegrate myself into it, I'll just start off small.
Mhm.
Small part. It's like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Give me 5 pages, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then we can move up.
A short one-act monologue.
A little one act. Perfect.
Starring Todd Williams.
Perfect,
No
yeah.
intermission, just
That's
a
it.
couple
Yep.
minutes.
Nope, that's it. We're good. Done.
And finally, what advice would you give to somebody who is just starting out, or even somebody who's been doing this a while? I mean, you've been acting for a
Yeah,
while,
I've
but
been
you've been
doing
very
it for-
successful. So,
Doing it for like 17 years.
but you've accomplished a lot in your 17 years.
Yeah,
and
I
you've
know,
done-
but you always see the thing is that you always got your eye on the prize,
Mhm.
and sometimes you just have to take those moments out to just really reflect and go, man, I've really made a lot of progress, and I've been fortunate enough to reach the goals that I set out for myself, and now there's just a new set of goals.
Mhm.
For somebody that wants to pursue it or is still pursuing it, perseverance is key. Because you have people that say that they want to do it, and well, not just perseverance, but doing it for the right reasons. Because I just did it because I love to do it, And a lot of people think that they want to do it, but they're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Maybe they want the fame, or
Mhm.
maybe they want just people. At the end of the day, it's not a lifestyle that everybody can really hang with.
Mhm.
I mean, this security is relative, I guess, but living your dreams is just it's probably the most important thing that you can possibly do for your brief existence on this planet. To just try to find something that you perceive as secure and live out the rest of your days unfulfilled is just a disservice to yourself. So anybody that wants to pursue it, just do it. It's better to have done it and it not worked out than to just always wonder what if. Nobody wants to be on their deathbed and going, damn, I should have tried that.
Mhm.
Just
Cool.
keep at it.
Thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh no problem.